Lefroy. How you doing? How you doing?
And so in many ways, whether or not its officials wanted to cut rates or not this week was immaterial, precisely because President Trump had been jawboning them for
That's how we cheer for hockey players that we really like up here, where I'm from. You just haven't, like Lefroy sounds like it could be like a really good hockey player name, or even like a soccer player. Or football, if you're European. European. If you're not pooing, what are you? European. You're not pooing. European. I don't know, that's so goofy. The stuff that we'd say in like 5th grade, bruh. I gotta go do something real quick. Give me a minute. Alright, sorry about that. I am back. Yo, what's good, Jack? Yeah, how do you guys feel about the channel logo and channel background?
And so that's why markets react so negatively to the perception when it looks like we're really moving in another direction. But hold tight when you think about all this. The courts are now addressing the possibility not about President Trump, about whether any president can essentially unilaterally make deals with other countries.
What's this buddy doing?
And historically, all revenue concepts go through Congress by definition. It's explicit in the Constitution.
LaCroix, get me back.
Is very important. My strong sense is Republicans secretly, Democrats more openly, are hoping that the courts save everyone from what would be a difficult process whereby essentially barriers are put up to foreign trade around the world. That would not be good for the American people, simply because the American people import from
I see no difference.
because they export more than
Dang.
any other country imports.
I want to come back to some
That's
more
crazy.
of the practicalities for the average American consumer when we talk about investment. What are some of the best investments
I like it. It looks
focused
clean.
on right now?
You died in the water. Dang. Can you reboot me though? You have my card. It shows that you guys have my card. When you die in the water, it automatically gives your team the card. Just get me.
AOL was the bellwether of the internet. You hear about that much today. So it's hard to say company specific, but that's the beauty of investing in the United States and increasingly in the world. With the S&P 500, you can have exposure. The small investor can have exposure to the best American companies.
Doesn't let you reboot me?
Crucially here,
Oh.
the S&P is cap weighted, and so when a company takes off,
Let's just restart. This is a bad start.
right now, the small investor gets growing exposure to this surge, and so it's a very easy way for Americans.
No, it's not squads that's the issue. It was just because I had to go AFK.
And even better, ensuring that when the next great company comes along, and there will be a next and a next and a next great American company, these investors will be ensured that they have exposure to. If you're stock picking, you're not insured of that, but with the S&P, you're insured that you will win the.
Supposedly there was a 3.0 earthquake in New York. I was seeing that in Fox News somewhere.
Some more of what you have your eye on for, because we just had that meeting with the Federal Reserve Chair.
3.0 is not like super crazy though. That's enough to feel it in some places, but then in other places you're probably not even going to feel it. Maybe a little bit of damage, like some cracks in the roads and stuff, but nothing crazy.
My view has long been, I've written books about it, that it really doesn't matter what the Fed does. The market for credit is global. More dollars circulate around the world than they do in the U.S., and so whatever the correct interest rate is,
Playing with
it's not going
viewers?
to be set
Yes,
by the
sir.
Fed, it will be set by the marketplace, which
Ranked?
we
Hell
also
no.
appreciate. My sense also,
I'm not doing no ranked right now.
I don't think many people inside the Trump administration, including secretly President Trump himself,
I'm literally just starting to get back into this game. I'm trying to take things slow. I'm kind of wishing that this mode had a casual, or this game had a casual mode like Warzone has. Warzone has regular, casual, and ranked. So then it's divided a lot better between the sweats and stuff.
Brinksmanship in the conversation between entities on both sides. We've got to get tough, ripping people off, all this stuff. Guaranteed.
Can I play? No, everyone except for you can play. Yes, you can play. Yes, you can. Yeah, you can hop in too, Jack. Everyone can play, bro.
Harris, President Trump said he's going to make this announcement tonight or tomorrow that Putin has 10 or 12 days to get this
Send a
done.
request to join when you guys are ready. That was rude. No. It was Joe.
That there's just no sense in giving Putin the full 50 days because he already knows what the end result's going to be at the end of that timeline.
Can you friend me and invite me?
I'm disappointed in President Putin.
You're not the Logan that I've already... You're a different Logan?
Look, and I'm going to reduce that 50 days that I gave him to a lesser number.
Or are you the same Logan and you've unadded me?
What's going to happen?
said the consequence if Russia does not agree to a deal will be sanctions and
He's a different
maybe
Logan.
secondary sanctions on countries doing business with Russia. That would have big impacts for major purchasers of Russian oil like China,
What's your user?
India, and Brazil. And President Trump also revealed something that Putin won't be getting, and why.
He wants to do trade deals with us. He talks about it.
Soccer boy.
And I envision that a lot of trade with Russia. They have a lot of valuable things. When you talk about rare earth, they have
With spaces or no?
It doesn't make sense to me. I thought he would want to end this thing quickly.
Is there spaces between the numbers?
But every time I think it's going to end, he kills people.
No spaces?
This was about as downcast as we've seen President Trump when it comes to his dealings with Putin, and he said that he doesn't want to have to hit
Is this
Russia
you?
with sanctions and that he loves the Russian people, but he acknowledged that Putin has been saying the things that he wants to hear and then doing the opposite. He also acknowledged his own belief that he'll be able to get this thing to an end might be dimming because he doesn't understand what Putin's doing here in his mindset, but he did leave open the chance that maybe a deal still comes together within that 10 or 12
I sent you a
days.
friend request.
Maybe.
You know, Jackie, it's interesting. This isn't the first time in recent days that we've heard the president talk about those phone calls. And in one, he referenced the first lady, and he said, then she told me, you know, that another building had been hit in Ukraine, and I knew that everything
You must
had
have
just said
accepted it.
So all of this now seems to have a ramping up effect. We'll get into it with my first guest. Good to see you. Thank you. Steve Moore, former Trump economic advisor. So, Steve, you just heard me saying that this seems to have a ramp up. Talk to me about Russia. I want to know what the president of the United States is about to
Jackie
do
Chan. What's good, bro?
Russia,
It's Jackie
and how
Chan.
that's going to hurt their economy and how fast.
Jackie Chan.
It's great to be with you. What Trump is doing with respect to these foreign policy moves is exactly
Honestly, that's one of my favorite actors ever.
with trade deals. He is exerting
Like of all time, not even of like a specific race or anything like that. Just like favorite actor of all time, Jackie Chan. Super like respect to his acting methods. He does all of his own stunts. Every single stunt that you've seen Jackie Chan ever do inside of a movie, every single fighting scene, every single thing was him, not no stunt double. I forget which movie it was, but he broke like his foot or his ankle during one of the movies, and they had to paint the cast around his foot to look like a shoe, and he continued doing the rest of the movie with a broken foot, basically. Continue doing more stunts and stuff. Sad thing is, used to get called that in primary school.
Look, I'm just going to be plain speaking. That's going to be really dependent on whether or not our so-called friends in Europe are no longer duplicitous when it comes to buying Russian oil. Come on, let's get real.
Oh my God, it
They
clicked.
have been doing that.
It's
So
clicked.
what kind-
Oh my
yeah,
God.
The president's going to have to put pressure
Oh
on
my
that part
God.
too.
Except, can I just add one thing to that, Harris? You're exactly right, but there's something else we can do that Trump is already doing, but he can turn the spigots on here in the United States.
There you go.
Every time we produce an additional barrel of oil here in the United States or more natural gas, who do you think is hurt the most by that? Russia is.
Yeah, and in interviewing the Secretary of Energy, Chris Wright, who the president has chosen to lead that, come on, let's get us into our independence zone again. Let's get there again.
If I spend too much time out in the summer, in the sun in the summer, I become like a little brown boy, and everyone thinks that I'm Mexican. No joke.
I want to focus on the deal we just made with the European Union, which is the biggest.
Like I've been mistaken for being Mexican so many times in my life, even Muslim too.
Opened up their country. We just finished.
It's just the Native American in me.
Philippines, we just finished. They opened up their country. They were very close. I'd love to see China open up their country. So we're dealing with China right now. As we speak.
If I become an actor, I'm quitting all this.
Well, all of this comes as
I mean, I don't blame you.
The president's tariff is surging. In June alone, the U.S. collected more than $27 billion. Look, I don't know what kind of reporting can really skip this, but in some avenues, as you know, in legacy and liberal media, they will skip this. This is a big deal.
A big deal indeed, and as you know, I've been kind of a skeptic of this approach. I do. I don't
So
like
yeah, I was called Mexican when I was a kid.
Look at what Trump has done. One country after another, whether it's Canada, whether it's Japan, Korea, China. Well, I want to see the
haven't gone risky yet. I just want to get it ungraded. Y'all don't have to join me if you don't want to.
Europeans are protectionist. They discriminate against American technology products. They discriminate.
What if Russia is just better, but then the world's been like made to believe that they're like so bad?
I don't know whether these countries will actually, they'll agree to the deal. But
They got better roads supposedly than the U.S. does, and they have cheaper eggs.
This is freer and fairer trade. I'm a free trade guy.
I don't know what that says. Russia has a lot of oil too.
That's a great outcome for everyone.
Look, I want to get to this. It's already been a big 6 months, we know.
I don't know if it's cheaper there, but I know that they have a lot.
President Trump, we have trade deals, that major tariff revenue that I just mentioned, $27 billion. His big, beautiful law, as I call it, that has now been putting spending changes and tax cuts, trillions of dollars of investment.
Why is my game so quiet?
Economy and increasing gas prices and increasing retail.
There's like no
sales.
gliding noise.
Look, the vice president, J.D. Vance, is in Canton, Ohio, talking about this right now. Let's watch just from moments ago.
I knew it would be getting bigger.
You need a government that makes it easier for your employers and for yourselves to invest and build wealth right here.
I mean, Russia's massive though. They got rocked by an earthquake, but that's, I mean, I'm sure it only affected just like a small portion, considering they're one of the largest countries on the planet, if not the largest. I think they are the largest. So I don't think it rocked their world as much as, like, you know, a lot of people would wish.
All right, that was moments ago. And Steve, this is important. The Vice President of the United States, the President of the Senate, that the place where that big, beautiful bill became law ending up on, as the President says, it's important for the American people to hear this. Why? Steve Moore, are you there?
Oh, I'm sorry. Look, yeah, sorry about that. So, yes, absolutely. I mean, are you getting tired of winning, Harris? I mean, this is a phenomenal set of achievements in 6 months. You've got the deregulation.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing too, but I'm not seeing any, like, aftermath. Like, images or videos of the aftermath, or the little bits of aftermath that I have seen. I can't verify even if it's the same, like, if it's even in Russia, and I can't, it doesn't look that big either. Like the aftermath. Just seems like some coastal areas kind of got messed up.
To show an estimated total savings of $199 billion. That's more than the $1,200 for, or rather more than $1,200 per taxpayer. So this is now compounding in a very positive way in the economy. I would be remiss if I didn't just get a quick checkup on where the economy is right now, because there are a lot of naysayers out there, people screaming recession, all of it. Drill it down with what we know on this Monday.
I don't know, I've just been starting to think maybe if, like, if we were all just born in Russia, I feel like we'd be kind of just living the same life, just instead of having these views towards Russia, we'd be viewing the States the way that we view Russia. I don't know, I think it's just perspective.
So you got to get control of government spending. That's the one thing we haven't done yet. But the rest of the picture looks big and beautiful.
Like, when I try to think about it, what makes Russia and the States that different, I can't really think of that much. Like, especially down to, like, the people level, like, they might live a little bit different, but on the human level, we're all just the same. Are they not getting your card?
They're all pro-America, pro-American businesses, and pro-investor. I mean, I've waited a long time for this, Harris, so I can't take the smile off my face.
Steve Moore, thank you very much for your time. Always good to see you.
You too.
See, that's my question, though. Is it Russia that's not letting these videos out, or is it our, you know, our Western
subscribe to the Fox
media outlets that don't really show that side. And then they claim that we can't see it because they don't show it. I don't know.
Here with me to discuss all of this, very busy man, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. Mr. Secretary, thank you very much for joining us, as always. Now, we're going to get to the president's big AI announcement today, late today, which was stunning. But let's unpack the biggest deal. I think it's the biggest deal you've negotiated so far, which is with Japan. Now, we know that the tariffs were higher. They were about 25% before this. Now they're reduced to about 15%.
I don't know if I'm going to make it there on time.
$550 billion into the United
If I had a
States.
launch
My
pad.
question to you is, where is that money going?
Except for
specifically,
Muslims.
and how are we going to enforce that it's actually spent? And that
I mean, it's so weird. The Muslims that I've actually met in my life are some of the sweetest and nicest people. Maybe except for, like, you know, one or two of them. But even when push came to shove, they're still really nice people. I can think of maybe just one nasty one that I've met. But then all the clips that I see online, they don't show the nice ones. They show all the nasty ones. Which, I mean, to be fair, makes better news. Nobody wants to watch a video of a kitten being saved by a firefighter out of a tree or whatever. Maybe back in the 70s or 60s. Now it's just everything that you hear or see is all just the bad stuff. They don't show the good stuff. And that's kind of bringing me back to my point. Is like maybe there's maybe Russia's just not all that bad. Maybe it is. I wouldn't be able to judge that properly unless I was able to check it out myself. Did I get him? Did I get him?
And will there be like a annual measure of how that money is being spent and at what pace it's being spent starting?
I'm probably wrong. I'm probably wrong. But I feel like it's not like the Russian people that are the problem, because that's never really the issue with most conflicts like that. It's usually the system. It's like when the systems start clashing with each other, then that leads to people starting to dislike the other people. You know what I mean? Because it was, for a long time, it was never really like Russian people against the American people. But like right now, it's really just the systems that are against each other. Can't you ready up from the lobby?
Now you're meeting with the Chinese next week in Stockholm, I understand?
Monday and Tuesday.
And earlier you said that you were working to convince them to slow their glut of manufacturing that they've been doing for, decades, obviously, and then concentrate on building a consumer economy, presumably so they'll buy more of our stuff. But to play devil's advocate, why do we really need a deal with China right now?
And Russia's not kind of like North Korea, where North Korea, they've sheltered themselves from the rest of the world, whereas the rest of the world is sheltering themselves from Russia.
So President Trump has said we might not even need a deal with China. He said that months ago. Why push for a deal at all?
Well, look, it's
Like, North Korea is locked down by themselves. Russia's locked down by everyone else.
precision manufacturing to the U.S. They are overbalanced in manufacturing, underserved in consumption. So as we generate more product, we are
a trade deal, but you indicated...
I'd like to visit Russia one day, but with like
We are in a good place.
a more happy world.
Tariffs with them, and then 20%.
Like, I'm just kind of wishing that we could all just frickin' find some sort of like peace.
Now moving on to the next stage, we're going to be talking about opening
Like, I'd like to travel to Russia one day.
talking about things like they're buying sanctioned Iranian oil, they're buying sanctioned Russian oil.
The pictures that you see online, the infrastructure that they have there looks insane. They've got some insane terrain as well. Some of the most, like, I want to explore
To a deal when Donald Trump is president.
Russia because they've got so much places to explore. You know what I mean? You go somewhere in like the UK, there's not really anything to explore. Everything's been like every little step of soil that you could possibly step on has been stepped on previously.
So I am
There's nothing new to explore.
So a lot of your
Maybe some like urban exploration, abandoned buildings type shit, but that's not. It's not the same.
for Congress.
You go to Russia, or even Canada where I'm at, there's places out here that no man has ever stepped foot. Think about that.
Hundreds of billions of dollars that's bought with our trade deficit. Does Congress need to step in too? And
There's just that remote of areas
satellites. We need
and that
electronics.
much land.
We need rare earths, but when China can dump rare earths anywhere in the world at below market values, who the heck's going to set up rare earths in the United States when they can't compete?
Well, part of the defense budget is going to go to, there's going to be allocations in the Defense Production Act for things.
I don't like that the North is divided as well. The North used to be super united, like all of the North.
And
It was a united thing.
important that the White House
Now it's like divided.
and Commerce are all moving in unison. And there's a group of us who believe that if we leave office in January 2029 without de-risking the U.S. supply chains, we will fail. We are not going to fail.
That means don't rely on China for magnets, don't rely on China for rare earths, don't rely on China for EV batteries, pharmaceuticals. So all of those, you think, in the next 4 years will be brought back to the United States so they don't have that leverage.
I guess the llama.
Economy, which they have now.
Exactly. So we don't want to decouple.
No, it's a
We
risk.
want to de-risk. And everything that we just described is de-risking.
I want to talk about your favorite person. I think it's your favorite person, Fed Chair Jerome.
And I think there's also something like
President Trump says that he refuses to budge
almost
on interest
mystical
rates.
about these places that are
Tariffs that you all put in place did not cause
so sheltered from the rest of the world.
But it's not the Fed
Like, we know so little about what Russia's like. We know so little about what North Korea is like. You know, the landscape, the buildings, the people, the culture, the food, like all the stuff. You know what I mean?
Why should Americans suffer through this?
Like, when was the last time you seen a Russian restaurant? Never in my life. There's no Russian restaurants here in Canada, and we're the melting pot of diversity.
Either December, January, and from that point on, the market will be listening to the future Fed chair. And remember, it's a committee, Laura. So
It's like, I just want to see what the rest of the world's like.
I call it, it used to be TDS was Trump arrangements, and now it's tariffs.
But maybe there's good reason as to why these places don't interact with other places.
Because once again, I can't remember, I think 358 economists that said now is the Fed on a universal basic income program. Another way, and they're projecting.
Well, so what do you talk about? I know you see him, once a week? You see him for breakfast?
Yeah, and we talk about exactly this. You're not seeing inflation, and we talk about the overall economy, we talk about the energy.
Get him, Jack, get him. Yeah.
Angry or sad or annoyed?
He's plugged up in a beautiful,
Behind you. No, Jack.
a lot of these jobs could happen in Treasury. I don't think it's happened
I know North Korea from what I've seen with pictures and stuff and videos. It's got some of the most beautiful mountainous regions in the world. And I love hiking and traveling and just like trails and stuff like that. And from what I've seen, North Korea's got some of the best like mountainous terrains and like mountain trails and all that kind of stuff in the world. But it's just off limits to visitors, I believe, because they're very strict on what they allow visitors to go do and see and interact with and all that kind of stuff in North Korea. So I think that those, because they're sacred lands, basically sacred places. Even when you go on Google Maps and you look at North Korea, they've got some crazy mountains. It's beautiful.
Probably the capex being spent on that is $300 billion a year, 1% of GDP, and that's going to create.
I'd imagine Russia's the same in that sense, with a beautiful terrain. I'm a nature person. I really like nature. And I like to see the way that nature differentiates between different regions. Like I know, for example, things in Florida, like the wildlife and the plants, even everything. They're just so different than what I'm used to seeing. We don't got no palm trees and all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't even know what kind of plants or like what the trees look like in Russia. I have no idea. What does a Russian tree look like? Is it the same as ours? Because they're kind of in the same latitude or whatever? I'm really good at waffling, I think. I could just yap for days. It won't let me click to accept that. Jack needs help. Help Jack. Hashtag help Jack. Jack. Holy cow, we got jumped. Knock one. No. There's a knock right on my mark. Dang. Big booty got me. Okay, it did accept it. That's weird. It just didn't say that it was accepting it. I wouldn't want to visit Russia during these times of conflict, though. I would want like things to settle down, like when you know, when things are just nicer. Nice shot. I'm sure that's gonna happen sometime eventually, right? It was Jack? Oh. Interesting. Is he gonna make it? Is he gonna make... Oh no, Jack, Jack, no, 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 no. And I got frickin' clapped by Big Booty Dude.
In the summer of 2016, before the election, Brennan tells everybody Hillary Clinton is up to no good.
Chat, my government seems to be caring more about Palestine and Israel than us. Why is it that I feel like my country doesn't care about me anymore?
Through all the investigations in 17, 18, and 19, and 20, he never said that, oh yeah, I had told Obama and these people about the Clinton still about the
That Clinton was coming out with a new.
I'm here to carry you guys.
right that happened in the
Soccer boy went AFK. I don't think that they're here no more.
one of the things he did have to say was that he knew that this was a Clinton vote. It wasn't until John Ratcliffe becomes the head of the DNI
Yeah, I don't know how I'm feeling about OG.
finds these handwritten notes.
We could try regular.
I'm sure if he wrote it down, he must have remembered. It's kind of important to remember that if one of the presidential candidates is cooking up a scheme, working with Russia, that they're working with Russians to cook up this scheme, and then what
Canada has joined a growing list of countries who say they will. Canada has joined a growing list of countries who say Canada has joined a growing list of countries who say they will recognize Palestine as a state for the first time. Prime Minister Mark Carney says Ottawa will recognize Palestinian statehood by September if the Palestinian Authority meets certain commitments. For more on this, I'm joined by Barsin Arabekan in Ramallah, the West Bank. She's the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Expatriates for the Palestinian National Authority. Barsin, thank you so much for joining us. I want
The only thing that I've heard about our new Prime Minister here that he's done for us, like one of his promises that he followed through with was making toll bridges, like toll fees when you go through these like bridges or whatever, cheaper, and ferry prices cheaper, which is definitely what the majority of Canadians wanted. And besides that, it's just been like Palestine this, Israel that. The gamer. Yeah, you can join. Chat, should Canada recognize the state of Palestine or whatever? Where'd Jack go?
Barsin, you're in the West Bank. You're in Ramallah. I wonder how.
Who put it on ranked? I'm not doing no
this
ranked.
conversation around recognition of Palestinian statehood.
Too sweaty.
Has it filtered through? What are people in the street saying, and how do they feel about this kind of change in the conversation?
Recognition is an overdue demand by Palestinians, but recognition alone on paper does not.
See, here's the thing. We've let in so many people from these places of conflict. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. We've let in a lot of people into our country from these places of conflict, thus making our government have to basically address their issues too now. Because when they come here with their problems. It's only natural, it's only human, you know? Your problems don't just go away when you move somewhere. Especially when you have people back home. It's like they don't even consider this their home. They consider their home, their homeland. And when you have people back home dying and fighting, then you become upset in your place of residence. And then what happens is the government has to kind of cater to these people. I'm not trying to be like insensitive or anything like that, but it's just how it is. 15 years ago, I don't think that there was any like big talks about Canada being involved with the Middle East like they are now. And we're stupid here in Canada. We'll just let in people from all sides of the conflict within like different time frames, obviously. But then you'll have like people of these conflicting religions or races that are now situated here, and they're starting to fight back at home, which causes them to fight here as well, and it's just like this whole thing. I don't see Canadians bringing our Canadian issues elsewhere.
I get what you're saying. Like part of this conversation is kind of we're in those still opening preliminary steps. But the other big part of this conversation and another demand from Canada is to demilitarize. Is the question of Hamas, which of course is a separate entity. But what can you do?
You're trying to take my gun.
Palestinian authorities do about Hamas to ensure that the militancy is controlled, that these terror groups are not targeting Israel?
And again, I don't blame the people for any of this kind of stuff. You have to blame the systems that put the people into positions of what they're doing, you know what I mean? And it's not just one system. they're all at fault. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore at this point. I sound like one of those crazy peoples.
Is control that these terror groups are not targeting Israel.
Today there's a consensus in the Arab world as in a large part of the Muslim world that Hamas will not be part of the governance in the day after of Gaza, and that Hamas's weapons need to be handed to either the Palestinian Authority or another third party. The main issue is that if we want a Palestinian state, it has to be a unified state with one governance, one law, one system, and one God. So that weapon should be in the hands of the legitimate authority that has the governance of the entirety of the Palestinian land, which is currently occupied, and that would be the Palestinian Authority.
Marcin, you've been part of these conversations and a push for recognition of Palestine for quite some time. I wonder just personally how it feels for you.
I mean, to be fair, I can understand where all this is coming from. If they get recognized by many countries like that, then they'd have a lot more, like, backup, per se.
From settlers.
We like the Israeli authority to act as an occupier that has responsibilities toward the occupied people.
We might lose one of our provinces. Our oil-producing province is thinking about leaving Canada, or like there's people within that province that are like, yeah, I don't really like what's going on with our government. We kind of just want to leave. They're basically going to either join the States or trying to get like their own recognition or whatever as like a independent either country or state or whatever. I marked a Superman cell? I didn't mark nothing. Chat, how do you guys like the profile picture and the background? Do you guys like? Squadmate has claimed the Kryptonian form? Huh. Oh, bro, Superman. That's cool. I'm just gonna rename the chat to non-chat because you guys are just not chatting. How's everybody in the not chat doing? You see what I did there? Friend. No. Superman. 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 I need Superman. Superman. Superman, I need you. What the flip is that? Superman! Bro, I feel like Lois or whatever, but that's hilarious. Superman! Holy cow. Where's a different reboot, man? 'Cause that one doesn't seem safe. We go that way. Oh, I've seen people that way. Car coming in. Oh. That's not fair. Oh, 162. 162. Get him, get him. Yeah, get him, get him. Watch out, watch out, watch out. Oh yeah, get him. Oh yeah, get him, get him. No, no, no. Just no, get him. Get him. Can I light campfire? I can't light campfire. He's gonna give comms that you're rezzing. Bro. We gotta go reboot him. Oh, there's someone rebooting right now. Oh, he's so lucky. My aim stinks. Oh, did they fix that? No. I hate this game. Bro, who at Epic was just like, let's just add back the Call Me On Me Off for the 4th time? Knowing how much people hate it. I can only play one game though, GT Pro. So you don't have time for another? You got to go.
Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is condemning the Liberals' major foreign policy shift. That is the decision of the Carney Liberals to recognize a Palestinian state very shortly without peace talks or rejection of terror. They argue that it rewards violence, not peace. Palestinians deserve to live free of Hamas and other terrorist groups where the people can build their lives and raise their families living peacefully next to the Jewish state. That is the two-state solution conservatives support. Prime Minister Mark Carney made the announcement last night saying he thinks the prospect of a two-state solution has weakened. Regrettably, this approach is no longer tenable.
Prospects for a two-state solution have been steadily and gravely eroded, including by the pervasive threat of Hamas terrorism to Israel and its people.
Shout out Slash.
I'm joined by Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of
Does that mean he's online?
Mr. Oliphant, good day to you. The Prime Minister laid out three conditions yesterday under which Canada would recognize Palestinian statehood. So Canada's made the decision to make this conditional. But it's not on actually fulfilling those caveats. It's on the commitment to do so. Why not wait until they've at least done one of them?
I think this is the art of diplomacy. What this is Canada recognizing that we have a long Palestinians have been bombarded by Hamas and now are being bombarded by Israel. That needs to stop on both sides. What we will continue to work for is a new way of being in that part of the world. The terrorists have to have their weapons taken away. If they don't lay them down, they need to be taken away. Canada will work with partners around the world to ensure that we have a demilitarized situation. This is not new. We have had this
Gold
problem
scar.
in countries in the world before, where we have to find a way to demilitarize something. Is it perfect? Is it easy? These are baby steps towards a diplomatic solution to a humanitarian crisis that Canadians have said enough is enough.
The Conservatives have argued this rewards Hamas for its murderous October 7th attack. The Conservatives not alone in saying that. How do you counter the way in which it might look to some?
There's no reward in this for Hamas, and there's no punishment in this for Israel. What this is finding a way for two people to live side by side. So I don't celebrate this. What I will celebrate is when peace breaks up, and when we have a diplomatic solution, when we have two states that are able to work side by side, recognizing their future interests are bound together. And we have to have safety and security for Israelis, safety and security for Palestinians in the West Bank and East Jerusalem, and safety and security and a rebuilt country in Gaza. That is what we need to have happen.
Can I just briefly ask you, just on the timing of this, the recognition by
Yo, Slush, thanks for the gift, bro.
2-day trade deadline with the Americans, and the president found out about it and said it's going to be hard to get a trade deal with them. Why not just wait 3 days?
Canada is negotiating a trade deal with the United States in good faith. We will work until we get the best deal for Canada and Canadians. And this is, trade should not be used as any sort of a weapon. We don't weaponize trade. We're in good faith negotiations to protect Canadian jobs, the Canadian economy, Canadian identity. We will do that. And we expect both parties in this negotiation to do the same. That is what we're doing. Canadians. And this is how about foreign policy. This is what a trade deal.
Thank you very much.
Layer on the Armstrong Jesus. Stack up the flavored Canadian trade.
Very much for your time today. Let's turn now to the official opposition and Michael Chong, who's the conservative critic for foreign affairs. Mr. Chong, good to have you on the program. Thank you very much for being here.
Oh,
You said that recognizing
bro, how'd they know exactly where I was the whole time?
for its murderous October 7th attack.
I'm crouch
How much
walking
time would
too.
have to pass from that attack for state?
Well, first, let me say that every civilian life, whether it's Palestinian or Israeli, Jewish, Muslim, Christian, or otherwise, is precious. And that means humanitarian aid needs to flow into Gaza. But now is not the time to recognize a Palestinian state, because recognizing a Palestinian state is not the way to achieve the delivery of humanitarian aid into Gaza. And secondly, and more importantly, recognizing a Palestinian state in the aftermath of the October 7th terrorist attack sends the wrong message that violence and terror are an effective way for a group to obtain its political objectives. So
Are you online,
to
Slush?
recognize a
Slushy?
two-state solution, to recognize
Slush.
a Palestinian state, is as part of a negotiated settlement between Israelis and Palestinians. In other words, Israelis and Palestinians come together, they negotiate, they settlement.
I don't see any slushy.
In the region, and that settlement has the popular support of both Israelis and Palestinians. And neither one of those conditions are in place. And I'll just finish by saying this, David, that it is sloppy logic to think that just because Canada and a couple of other countries have declared
OG Cup.
recognized two states,
Respawn
that will
Rumble.
achieve
What's
a
this?
solution to this long-standing conflict. That logic is sloppy and incoherent.
But I would just point out it's not a couple of other countries. You're right that Britain and France have done so in the last week, but there are 147 nations that did so before us.
Agreed, but I would say that the vast majority of Western democracies have not recognized
What happened to cool LTMs? Now they just have to have like 40 different modes that nobody really likes that much.
In an instance of negotiation between the two parties. Now, part of the challenge, of course, is Hamas has not even recognized Israel's right to exist, and so doesn't have an interest in negotiating a solution with it. But at the same time,
Yo, what's good, bro?
The Israeli government right now who want to push Palestinians out of their own land. There are some who have called for the complete annexation of the West Bank and take away the land that Palestinians live on. There are settlers that are
Like, instead of Fortnite just doing what they're good at, they're trying to compete with a lot of different things that they have no, like, they have, like, you should just not be competing with, you know what I mean? Like rocket racing. Why would I play a racing game on Fortnite when there's so many great racing games out there that are just so much superior? Another example. Why would I play Lego Odyssey when things like Minecraft exists? Just such a more superior game. You know what I mean? Or even Save the World. Like, why would I play that when something like Rust exists? Ranked Reload, that's competing directly with Call of Duty. And it's not even as good as Call of Duty. Zero Build, that's also directly competing with like Call of Duty, Apex, and PUBG, and all those other ones. The only thing that made Fortnite unique and different from all these other Battle Royale games is the fact that they have a building mechanic. You take that away and it's the same as like PUBG, just worse. You can't compete with Guitar Hero or Rock Band, so I don't even know what they're doing with that. You're no longer single? That's good. That is good. Yeah, I just wish that they would just focus on what they're good at instead of trying to do all this other shit. Give us just the main modes, just like Battle Royale and Zero Build. Keep OG, because that's cool. And give us LTMs. We don't need any of the other stuff. Maybe Save the World, because it's like what built the game. But keep those 5 and just give LTMs. We don't need this, we don't need this. Creative, yeah, we'll keep that. We don't need this, we don't need that, we don't need this, we don't need that, we don't need that, we don't need that, we don't need this, we don't need this, we don't need this, we don't need this, we don't need this. We don't need this, this is good. We don't need this. This is good. We don't need this. We don't need this, we don't need this, we don't need this. Tournaments is something different. We're not even going to talk about those. Popular creators in your region? What?
When it comes to oil independence. Hundreds of millions of people have moved from the countryside to the city, and they are making things. More than just t-shirts, toys, and tables. They're making semiconductors and solar panels, new port facilities,
weird.
highways, railways, pipelines,
I don't like that.
networks. But follow the oil. Like any explosively growing economy.
Yo, slash air. What's up, bro?
Building factories, infrastructure, entire cities, you need what oil gives you, which is fuel, plastic, chemicals, even the roads.
I guess we'll do this. Just chilling.
Crude oil imports
did they reduce their dependence on the lifeblood of modern industry, the thing America produces more of than any other country?
So for the last 12, 15 years, certainly, China has been on a quiet and increasing...
For more analysis now, we're joined by Robert Glasgow. He's a partner at McCarthy Tetro with an expertise on international trade. So good to have you on the show, Robert. Thank you for making time.
Great to be here, Natasha.
Certainly sounds like Canada-U.S. trade talks are in a holding pattern. That is after President Donald Trump raised tariffs on certain Canadian goods. Some of the country's premiers are calling for retaliation.
We have to push back in some way. I mean, we'll continue the initiatives we had here with taking the American alcohol off the shelves, looking at the procurement process. We have to push back for sure. But what that actual pushback looks like in terms of counter tariffs and stuff, we'll let the
It's interesting. I've been seeing a lot more domestic alcohol, like local stuff, ever since the tariffs and stuff. We have been taking off a lot of American products off the shelves.
Any of the counter tariffs that we have in place, or remove the counter
Not
tariffs
saying
that
you
we
can't
have in
get
place
them, but
as we head towards a low tariff or no tariff environment with the United States of America. This has been asked for by Secretary Lutnick, is to remove any of the tariffs that Canada might have in place. And I think if we're serious about achieving our renewed,
I feel like it's going to create a market where American alcohol is going to cost even more up here, because it's going to be there's going to be less of it. So then the demand for it either is going to be declined, or if it still exists, then because the supply is lower, then and the demand's still high, people are going to be able to upcharge for it.
Good day to all three of you. Does feel like a bit of deja vu, right? Haven't we been here before? There's no
I think
deal.
it's mainly
There's a
whiskey,
deadline. Oh, Canada's
but
getting
Canada's
it.
got good whiskey.
It does certainly seem, when you listen to Minister LeBlanc, like this is going to be a while.
We don't even need
This is
y'all's
not gonna be
whiskey.
resolved in the next few days. Fred?
Yeah, it is deja vu. It's the same thing that's keep happening, and I think, obviously the government's seized by this.
Slasher, you trying to join? How you doing?
I think regular Canadians are less and less interested in this issue because it keeps popping up.
Slasher.
Things keep evolving, and where Trump goes with this, we'll have to see. But the market hasn't moved. Interest rates haven't moved. It's not like there's a panic right now. Now, obviously, tariffs will be.
Yeah, you trying to join?
There needs to be some kind of deal that is.
Well, you should have said that before I jumped in this game.
Just, it's like reality TV right now. Trump is just negotiating in public, dropping bombs here and there. But we'll see what we actually get to at the end.
If Canadians are either tired of this or understanding and willing to hold out, is there an expiry date for holding out for a better deal?
From Canadians' point of view, I think it's going to be when people really start to feel that there's an impact negatively to them. Keeping in mind that we've just gone through years and years of inflation following the pandemic. So I agree with Fred. I think, Canadians are kind of at, apologies to Matthew Goodman, but I think it's alert status orange. And that we're so used to this, and we're very used to this on Friday afternoons, talking about what Trump has done. And there's a whole phrase, a whole, meme around taco. Trump always chickens out. He seems to have
a lot of
done that with
wildfires
Mexico this week. So I think what the government and most of the premiers have done is to say this is good.
This first tag means bad news and big decisions.
And I'm not saying like wildfires are weird or anything, but a lot of them like that. Are you online, Slasher? Yeah, there you are. Tripod ooh. You changed your user, so I'm kind of happy that I nicknamed you. I would not have been able to find you. 213 is goated? What happened to Master Tripod? That's crazy. That's crazy. They grow up so fast.
First, let's look at our headlines. Shrouded in smoke, how air quality warnings from wildfire smoke is affecting Manitobans. Bracing for the worst. Winnipeg businesses consider the impact as Trump's tariffs take effect. And later, inspiring the next generation, the swimming superstar whose quest for gold has captured Canada's attention. We talked about the water
Vancouver Island is forcing hundreds of people out of their homes. It's burning between Port Alberni and Nanaimo. Hundreds more have been warned to be ready to leave at a moment's notice. CBC's Tricia Kindleman reports.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
As you mentioned, Natasha,
it's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel
kilometers
fine.
northwest of the community of Nanaimo. So no reports of any houses or anything lost yet. We have another map that kind of gives you a sense of
Nanaimo.
just how much the community is being impacted, how close it is. So you can see that red line along the body of water there, and then that red patch in the middle. That's all the current evacuation orders. So there's about 400 properties in there, as well as a provincial park that has been cleared out at this point. That sort of yellowy orange area around there is those remaining evacuation alerts, and there's about 230 or so properties.
Well, I can tell you that I stood in the same position here last night, Scott, and it is a dramatic... They are going to be going tent to tent, making sure people are out. There's a lot of options people are being given, and we'll get to those after we show you just what people are facing.
After you need to restart your game?
In their backyard. With their homes on the line, the Wesley Ridge fire is a sight these Qualican men are afraid to look away from. It's nearing their community by the hour, having already consumed several pieces of heavy equipment. So Nathaniel Hyman is keeping around-the-clock vigil in case he and his neighbors can help.
If it comes down any further, it could be a disaster for us. So, the guys are on the floor here doing the best they can, and us as community members, we are ready to stand by the fire department and fight the fire if necessary.
I think this is bigger than the one they had a couple years ago. That's a big fire.
I agree with him on that one for sure. This one is threatening our community a lot more than the other one being across the lake.
The wildfire nearly doubled in size overnight Friday from 130 hectares to...
Intentional or not, children's data is seemingly available for anyone to get. Our findings don't surprise most, but they do trouble her.
It is really scandalous that...
Where's the good news in the news? Only bad news. Okay.
Like this. I think no parent
Freaking
would feel
fruit.
comfortable if like a van followed their child around when they went to school.
They don't believe how bad this really is. If you're still using plastic or wooden cutting board, you need to watch this.
I don't need to watch it. Plastic cutting boards. That news thing had to have just some stock audio. I'm trying to hear an article.
Tonight on CTV News, rocks and bricks dropped off a downtown bridge onto vehicles below.
That's Canada.
Teens charged after being chased down by a driver. Bike lane debate, the transportation minister at odds with mayors.
We're having these conversations with both Edmonton and Calgary and identifying bike lanes that obviously don't make sense.
And
That's what I've been saying.
the snowbirds put on a show.
Yes, sir, they did.
Take a run at some record highs Thursday, Friday, and Saturday looks hot.
It'd be hot as frick. But that's 3 days ago.
Good evening. A court in Ontario has ruled legislation giving the province the power to remove certain bike lanes there is unconstitutional. That ruling isn't stopping Alberta from meddling in bike lane decisions in its major cities, as CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports, the transportation minister wants to make sure cars take priority.
This notice on an apartment building warns tenants bike lane construction is coming to 113th Street, part of about 40 new kilometers of bike infrastructure being built this year and last. A city spokesperson tells CTV the expansion of the active transportation network will not only support Edmontonians today, but will continue to support generations to come. The 113th Street project seemingly represents the kind of bike lanes the province doesn't like.
We hope that both Edmonton and Calgary, their city councils, will understand that bike lanes should not take over driving lanes.
Transportation Minister Devin Dreeshin met with Calgary Mayor Jody Gondek today. In recent months,
That's what I've been saying. The bike lanes here are so unsafe. You'd be driving on the bike lane, right? And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the bike lane turns into the actual road, and now you're a bike on the road with the vehicles. So you have two choices, really. Either take the whole lane, be centered in the middle of the lane, or choose to stay to the side. Now, either one is a bad option, and they're both very unsafe. And then when you continue down, eventually you'll get back to a bike lane that's either right off to the side of the vehicle lane, or you'll have it just on a path separated by some grass from the vehicles. So it's like out of nowhere you'll be like on a nice path, nice bike path, and then all of a sudden you're on like a small little narrow tiny bike path that's just like right beside the vehicles, and then all of a sudden now you are a vehicle. That's not safe. Ooh, storm, no. Do you guys have nice bike paths? Or is it like same shit that I just explained? Like, I understand vehicles come first because they're on the road, right? So the problem isn't that there's bikers on the road, the problem is that we put the bike lanes so close to the road. We should have some sort of separation, but that doesn't... You can't really do that in like a, you know, the core of a city or even like a suburb neighborhood. You can only do that in certain places. Because, you know, things are already built the way that they're built. You can only change them certain ways. You can't really change or tweak things too much, otherwise you're invading onto people's, like, property. And then there's dumb stuff too. It's like they'll make it illegal for you to ride a bike on the sidewalk, but then, or like something like that. But then there's like, you know, no other choice but to ride it on the road. But then that becomes unsafe. And, you know, I mean, and they don't teach no like bicyclists frickin' road laws. So you're supposed to go on the road. Sure, you're not a motorized vehicle, but you're going on the road, and you're supposed to understand all the road laws without ever having any tests. That's another issue. And there's no speed limits for bikes either. There's no, like, posted signs telling you how fast you can or cannot go on a bike. So you could be traveling at an unsafe speed on a road, and there's no laws to prevent that. That's pretty messed up. I feel like bicyclists should have the same level of safety as vehicles. The only reason that they don't is because they're not as necessary to the economy as motorized vehicles are. Like if we were shipping everything with bikes, with people on bikes, and we weren't using trucks, we weren't using cars or anything like that to do shipments or anything like that, then those would be prioritized and we'd have a lot more safety requirements for bikes. Would it be productive? Probably not, but it just goes to show. Value lies where the most productivity comes from. I'm really good at waffling, right? I'm a yapper. Ooh, sniper. I'll take it a pump. I'll take it a pump. It's a good pump. Let me out. This is duos. Why is they're teaming or are they fighting each other? They're fighting each other? All four of them pulled up to you. This is sus. They're fighting though, but it's like they stopped fighting just to come get you. I had to triple check to see if it was squads. Doesn't say squads. Dang, you had some good loot. Whee! Whee! No. No. No, no, no. No, 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 no. No, no. You gotta restart your game? I'll be right back. That I'll be right back. I mean, shoot. Sorry about that. I am back. Did I just say I'm black? No, I'm good. I think I'm good. You back online, Slash? Slash, you will. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You ever climbed trees before, Slasher? I used to climb so many trees, and I'm wondering if I still have, like, what it takes. Like, have you ever climbed a tree, like when you were a kid or something? Is that something just, like, people don't do? Like, I don't know. This is stuff that we used to do when I was younger. We didn't have all this kind of technology to keep us away from interacting with nature like we do nowadays. You'd be bored out of your mind back then with nothing to do. You got stuck in the tree. Yeah, it's a lot easier to go up than it is to come down, eh? That's something I remember. I'd always go for a tree that had a lower hanging limb. That way, not only is it easier to climb up, but it's also easier to jump down from. You know what I mean? Usually you could like get to that lower limb as you climb down the limbs of the tree. You get to that lower limb, and then you can either, if it's low enough, you could just jump from it, and if it's not low enough, then what you do is you try to like hang from it, and then when you're hanging, then it makes the drop a lot less, and then you just, you know, you tuck and roll when you drop. Not all trees are good for that, though. And I've noticed nowadays they cut off the lower limbs of trees to make it hard for people, for kids, to actually be able to climb them. And if they do end up climbing it, then it becomes, like you said, like a come rescue me type thing, because it's really hard to climb down the trunk of a tree. It's easy, it's not easy to climb up it, but it's easier to climb up the trunk of a tree, and nearly impossible to try to climb down a trunk of a tree. And because they took all the branches away from the bottoms of trees, yeah. Or they just grow them with higher canopies and whatnot. What am I on about? I don't do no expert. I'm a rookie. I'm a rookie. Rookie. I feel like climbing a tree is a very useful survival thing if you need to, like, if you're forced in like the wilderness and you need to survive, because when you get to a height like that, you're able to see a lot further and see things from a bird's eye view. So you're able to see like where the mountain's at. You're able to see maybe potentially a body of water, maybe even like civilization if you're stranded and you're trying to get back to civilization. Elevation is quite literally one of the key ingredients to survival in the wilderness like that, or at least from what I've known. you can get to the mountains, because if you get to the mountains, you can see where water's at a lot easier from the tree line. If you're at the top of the trees, you can kind of see further, but you're still stuck with the tree line in your way. But you can see where the mountains are. You can see the horizon a lot easier, so you can see that. So then you can travel towards the nearest mountain to get up on top of that. And yeah, usually mountains have streams running off of them. Mountain water is usually pretty clean too. I've been questioning stuff like lately, like whether or not I'd be able to survive in the wilderness. Like if I just like wanted to do like a couple months in the wilderness, like one of these challenges that people do with like nothing but a knife or something like that. Would I even be able to do that? Because I think like I don't know how to identify wild foods. I'm not like super. Like, I know knowledge about hunting, but I've not gotten myself super experienced with hunting. I know how to craft some stone and wooden tools just from messing around as a kid. You know, I used to live by, like, the river in a forest and stuff like that. I'd sharpen spears and make, like, spearheads with rocks and all that kind of stuff. I had, like, a bunch of stone tools, and I'd use those stone tools to make wooden tools and more stone tools, and yeah. So I can do some stuff, but I don't know if I'd be able to survive. Like when it comes to foraging, I don't know what's gonna, you know, make me sick and ill. I don't know. Like I know some foods, I know how to identify like raspberries and blueberries and strawberries. Couple berries. I don't know how to identify a lot of other stuff. I know that dandelions are edible, but dandelions are actually not native to here. It's something that the Europeans brought over. So if you're stuck in the deep wilderness, you're not going to find no dandelion around there. That's only something you see really where the cities are at, or where the fields are, because that's where the fluff goes. Type shit. I know you can eat cattails, those like really puffy things that grow like near water or near like swamp-ish areas, but you have to eat them when they're young. And I think you might be able to eat the roots on those, I'm not sure. With dandelions, you can eat the whole plant, root and all. You can make the roots into a tea, you can eat the greens, and you can eat the flower even. Flower might not taste the best, but you can eat it. I know how to identify mulberries, but those are kind of dwindling in population. Wild game, I know how to identify, like meat, that's pretty easy. You can eat almost any meat that you find up here. You can eat the squirrels, the chipmunks, the rabbits, you can eat the birds. You might not want to eat all the birds, but there's like a lot of geese and all this, a lot of edible things that I just know how to identify quite easily just from living here. Wild turkey, that's another one. We got a lot of those. And then the bigger game like deer, moose, caribou, all that kind of like elk or whatever, like any of the large horned whatever animals. Quite easy to identify. Some meat, easy to identify. Whether or not the experience would be like the actual hunting experience would follow through, I don't know. I don't know. Because you're stuck primitive, like if you're stuck in a survival situation, you might not have like the ability to just easily shoot a deer, because you might not have a gun with you, or even a bow. You might have to make something. I think I have some knowledge to make a bow, possibly. Arrows I know more knowledge about than the bow. I know how to make the bow. I don't know how to make a string for it that would be elastic enough with things in nature. I don't know how I would do that. I don't have good long range. But I can make a spear, but getting close to a big wild animal like that, like a deer or a moose or something, with a spear. I mean, a deer, that would be not the hardest to kill. It would be, I mean, like when it comes to actual like the fight itself. But sneaking up on it would be the main issue. Same thing with an even larger one, but something like a moose and a spear. A moose can easily just like kill a person. A moose has the ability to just kill, and will kill if felt threatened. And I don't even know if the spear could do that much damage to a moose. You'd have to target it right in the throat, and it'd still go down kicking. It'd still go down kicking viciously. So you'd wanna. That's one of those animals I don't think people, like primitive people, would not have hunted alone. And if you were able to take down one of those things alone, that's a big accomplishment. You are the chief of the village. If you could take down like a moose or a caribou on your own, you are now the chief of the town. And there's still places up here that work like that, more or less. We got a nice amount of native people here, and they still live off the land relatively. Ooh. Where's my bear hug emote? Attack. Oh, he's got a sniper. Oh, I have no more mats. I slipped. I don't know where his teammate went, but he might be camped in the building still. Maybe not. Did you get them both? And I know about making shelter, so I could probably stay warm and stay even cool. I know about how to harness and locate clay, and clay is a very resourceful tool if it came down to survival in like the wilderness situation. Could do a lot with some clay. I know how to make waterproof flasks out of pine resin, some ash, and some bark. Make a waterproof water carrying sack of sorts. Because not only being able to locate water is important during a survival situation, but being able to transport water with you is quite important too. Because you might be able to find water near somewhere that's not very suitable to set up a shelter. So you might have to take some of that water as you drink it, and then you take some along with you as you continue looking for a place to set up camp. Oh, they showed up. They want some. They here for seconds, bro. Oh, they here for thirds, my dude. I hurt one. 105. I did not just do that. I hate this game. I mean, besides food, water, and shelter, what else is there for surviving in the wilderness like that? Food, water, shelter, that's all I can think about that's important. So I kind of know food. I kind of know water. And I'm pretty sure I know shelter. Staying warm is quite important too, I guess. Especially during the winter, because if you got stranded out in the winter here in Canada... Oh, actually, how would you even get food? You'd have to know how to... It would really depend on when you got stranded. Because if you got stranded and winter set in too quick, then there goes almost all the food sources that you could have potentially had gotten. Because a lot of the food that you could forage is seasonal. And the winter is so harsh here. If you don't have a way to preserve some of the foods that you have harvested and been able to forage for that long winter, then you're going to be starved to death throughout the winter. So you'd have to harvest a big animal and preserve that big animal, which I know how to do. Which you would have to do in a survival situation anyways, because there's literal cases of people dying because they don't know how to preserve meat, you know what I mean? As long as you can get a fire going, that's important too. I think I can create a fire as long as I can find dry enough materials. I don't think I have enough knowledge for like a challenge like that. A wilderness challenge. I'd have to bring some sort of like rations with me. I'd have to bring like the bare minimum. I've spent a week in the woods before, but we brought we brought food and we brought a bunch of other stuff. That's just camping. What I'm talking about is like, don't go with a tent, bring the bare minimum of food, and make your own shelter. Maybe bring some rope with you at most. I know how to make rope, but that's just tedious. Why is it on expert mode? I don't want to get shat on more than I already am. Grand Canyon wildfires reaches mega fire status? Oh yeah, I thought I remember hearing about that. For some reason when I'm reading it, I'm like, wildfire in the Grand Canyon? Like, as if I didn't hear about that like a couple days ago. Or maybe a week ago. What is up with all these wildfires? Slasher, do you like the channel logo in the background? The channel background and the channel logo? Ba-donk-a-donk. Ba-donk-a-donk-a-donk. Ba-donk-a-donk-donk. Jack would like to join back. Jack would like to join back. It won't let me open up the menu. Bro. Oh my Jesus. It won't let me turn my camera around either. This game is so bad, bro. Oh, okay, now it's gonna... Okay. There we go. You gotta love this game, bro. Slasher, what do you think of the channel logo? And the channel background? Do you like it? Do you like it a lot? Who's my top fans this stream? Gamer Logan, Slasher, DeGamer, Javon, all tied technically for first, but unfortunately it doesn't work like that. It's a W? It's not the same, bro. How's it the same? How's it the same, bro? It's not even the same, bro. It's upgraded. Yeah, top fans this stream. You see that little number beside Slasher's name? It's because he's a top fan this stream. You guys can gain XP just from typing in the chat, and you can also buy XP with super chats. I think it's like 50 XP each super chat or something like that. Or maybe it's super sticker. I'm not sure which one of the supers it is, but you can get it just from commenting, or you can get it from buying it, or both. He bought a super chat? I don't believe so. I think that it's just from commenting. You gain XP just from sticking around in the chat and commenting. You're at like 50 XP, I think, right now. But it's just because there's 4 people that have 75 XP. So they took 1, 2, and like first, second, and third place. Actually, for some reason, I don't see you having any XP on the leaderboard. Which is strange, because you did comment earlier. Maybe just not enough. Oh, I was gonna rocket right into heaven. I was gonna rocket right into heaven. Y'all ever heard that one before? You heard? Oh, he jumped over my rocket. He's got a garage. Got him. He got the garage. I remember looking into how the XP works. I don't remember exactly how the commenting works. It just says basically commenting gives you XP. It doesn't say like if spamming helps or if there's like a certain frequency of which the XP is given. I'm not sure exactly how that works. It's been a new thing for a little bit now. I hear shots that way. What's funny is Nightbot can actually take a place on the leaderboard. I think that's pretty funny. I'm gonna turn Nightbot off. Oh, between the legs? That's crazy. I barely missed that. Shot right between the legs, bro. That's crazy why I say that. That could be taken out of context. Bro, I'm finding good loot. Like, really good loot. Can you bounce? Can you bounce? Can you bounce a rocket? Don't worry, tripod, I'm coming. I'm also on my way. Mark him, mark him, mark him. Where's he at? Ah, you didn't mark him. Why didn't you mark him? Whee. Rocket coming in. Got him. Bro, I got him. So good at this game. So good at this game. I'm so good at this game. Do you have rockets? I need rockets. I need some rockets. You want a rocket ride? You want a rocket ride? Can I pet that dog? You stole my kill. How could you? Rocket ride. Jump, 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 jump. Rocket ride time. Here, let's try to line it up. You ready? Tripod! I want to rocket ride you. Stop running from me. Oh, you want to take a rift? Fine. Ouch. Oh, okay. I have an idea. I have an idea. Did I not hit the rift? Oh, I missed it. Lame. I have an idea, but I might die. I ripped it. No, wait, no. Wait. But then, can I control it again? No, it's just doing its thing. I'm stuck in a I'm stuck in a tree. Oh my god. Help me. Help me. I'm dying over here. Oh no. No, they found me. Ah. Jack laughed. I am back. Yo, what's good, guys? What's good, Elite? What's good, Sapphire? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Sorry about that. So supposedly that 8.8 magnitude earthquake off of Russia may have caused a volcano near that region to erupt for the first time in 6 centuries, 600 years, approximately. A dormant volcano has erupted within Russia. Whether or not they're linked, probably. Not definitively. I mean, one extra volcano erupting in the world doesn't really change too much, but I mean, it's interesting to see how much of an aftermath this could have. If they're linked, of course. Because if they're linked, that means that everyone was expecting giant tsunamis. There was like pretty big waves and stuff, but it was mainly an earthquake and not much came of it from what I've been seeing. And now I'm seeing volcano. So I don't know. It's interesting. Nobody was calling for that to happen. Sapphire trying to join? Am I good at reload? I haven't played in forever. I used to be pretty good. I was in elite rank, or no, not elite, unreal rank. At one point I was in the top 50,000, like 40 something thousand. So I'm pretty good, but just really rusty. I haven't played that in months.
In the same region rocked by an 8.6 earthquake just days ago. Scientists say it might be connected. That quake triggered tsunami warnings across the Pacific, including here in SoCal, but no serious damage was reported. Scientists are now closely monitoring the region for more volcanic and seismic activity.
Interesting. Interesting. So, there could be more seismic activity within Russia, and possibly more volcanic activity within Russia. And also I heard that New York got hit with like a 3.0 magnitude, which isn't huge, enough to feel it, but not really do much. There's all these wildfires, flooding, landslides, earthquakes, volcanoes, hurricanes, tornadoes, a lot of thunderstorms lately too. What's going on with the weather and nature? So he wants to join, but he also is trying to focus on his zero build squads rank. Ah, I see. So he doesn't want to. He wants to play with us. He just doesn't want to play this with us. I see. No, I'm not trying to do reload. Squid grounds? Okay, I'm only gonna do it because I haven't tried squid grounds yet. Sounds interesting. Even the Grand Canyon, supposedly the Grand Canyon has a giant wildfire going on in there. From what I've been seeing in the news and stuff. Like, what is going on with Mother Nature and stuff? And why does nobody want to seem to be talking about this? I'm trying to engage in a conversation. Ready up. Before it switches maps. Bro. Jack. Bro, ready up. Finally. Talking Game Boy. I have baby oil. Has emote. Bro. If I talk in game, are we gonna talk about the stuff I want to talk about, like nature and stuff? Don't you me, boy. Bro, it's not even gonna put us in this map, bro. Because you didn't ready up on time, bro. It's all your fault, bro. No? See, then why am I gonna go to the thing if you're not even gonna thing with me? You gotta do my thing with me. Coin clipping is a crime. Coin clipping? We worried about coin clipping right now when the metal that's used inside a coin is literally valueless? Only one that's worth something was the copper pennies that we were having in production, and for some reason we decided, hey, we don't want to do that anymore because it actually, the copper value of the penny is worth more than the penny. So if you melted down a bunch of copper pennies, it's worth more than, you know, the cent that's provided in monetary value. So they took that away from us. What are people cutting nickel? They don't even use nickel inside of nickels anymore, because it's too valuable of a metal. Yes, nickel is a type of metal, not just the monetary amount. I'm worried about coin clipping. What, for the zinc? Zinc? For the zinc? They use that as a filler in almost all these things because it's freaking basically like one of the cheapest ones. Who be coin clipping? Oh, maybe, because we still have old coins that still technically go in circulation. So if you got your hands on a silver coin, and then you tried to put that silver coin back into circulation, wouldn't it just be worth more to just melt the whole coin? Usually silver coins, old ones, are just 50-cent pieces. You'll see silver dimes, 10-cent pieces. Why would somebody clip the coin when they could just melt the coin? Makes no sense to me. Both are illegal. Why do the one that makes less money or profit? Maybe because it's more noticeable, taking that many coins out of circulation due to melting. But when you clip the coin, it stays in circulation, making it probably less noticeable or something. I don't know. Zero builds is for babies. I'm not a baby. After this one I gotta hop off anyways, and I'm just joking about the baby thing. Holy cow. Better. I'm just better than him. Forgot that this is reload. I would just come back if I died. Bruh. Why am I playing like I have one life? I'm not used to this, like I said. I'm rusty. Rusty. Bro, who rocketing? That's crazy. Be rocketing. I'm under the water, help me. I'm under the water. Help me. El mío, I'm under the water. My loadout is shit. Yeah, I gotta go help with dinner after this one chat, so I'm gonna have to hop off. Might be able to stream more after dinner. Yo, Jamie, what's good, bro? How you been? Live on Twitch, nice. I'm not able to get Twitch on my tablet. It's too old. I would tune in and drop a like or whatever, but I'm not able to. I was gonna throw them all. It was gonna be amazing. He knew it was about to happen too. Ooh, I see him. That's right, I see you. Make my presence known. Go in. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? How did I not die? I really should have died. Hold up. Did I just find a glitch? Yeah, you can join after. Chad, did you see that? I clung on to nothing. That's crazy. How did I take no fall damage? I jumped from the top of that. I missed my cling. And then I didn't even have time for a second cling. It's insane. How do you feel about the new channel logo, guys? Anyone who hasn't been asked yet? Because I've asked a couple of y'all so far. You guys like? I need a sniper so bad. Sniper. It's gonna have a sniper. Sniper. Oh. Find some chig splashes. I could just go push. See how that works. Bam. It's working pretty good. Bam. Boom. Bop. That's right, get got. Accept it, bro. Just gotta accept it. I have a grapple with 0 grapplers. How does that make sense? Is there still reboots? Oh, there is. He's gonna go back for his stuff. I could use the sniper still. Dang. Nice, you got a blitz win? Blitz is pretty fun. Well, kinda. Still Fortnite, but you know what I mean. Bro, let me chill. I'm gonna take all this unnecessary damage because Fortnite's game's trash. It's awesome. It's a good thing there's a vending machine right here. People, 5 teams, including us. .84 off that guy. I didn't notice that there was 1 billion people on you. I don't know why. I thought they were our team. Bro. I see 1 billion people there. I could have done something. Oh, he's in the storm. Jack out here bullying him. I got a little bit of kills, but I didn't die until the end. I only died the one time there. Can we 1v1 after? I'm not really trying to do no 1v1s. Well, I gotta go help with dinner after this match right here. So I gotta end the stream. I might stream after dinner. I don't know about no 1v1s though. I'm way too rusty for that. I'm just gonna make a fool of myself. Which I know is cool for you guys, but if I do a 1v1, I wanna at least feel like I have a chance. Not just get clipped on without trying. Please, can we do 0 build rank? I don't know, maybe when I'm done making dinner and stuff, or helping with dinner. You got this. Just gonna shit on all of them like that, huh? Let's go. 1v1. Oh yeah, he don't want this, bro. He don't even want this. You're about to serve up that can of whoop ass. Hit him with that Popeye spinach, bro. Jump him. Jump him. Bro, you're from the UK, right? Just go up and shank him. Ain't that what y'all do? Jab, jab. Jab. Yeah. See? That's a good game. Jack over here popping off. Alrighty, I'll catch you guys in a bit probably. Wait, shoot. My bad, Jamie, because I said Jamie could play, totally forgetting that I had to go do stuff. My bad, Jamie. I just thought of that. Because I said you could join, but then I totally didn't take into consideration I gotta do shit. Well, if you're still willing and wanting to join when I get back, if I'm streaming, then you could join. I'll catch y'all after.